road this fall and get a taste of New Mexico. This September issue of New Mexico magazine maps out field trips for food lovers, guiding foodies to farm stands, orchards, and wineries from Chimayo to Hatch. I love it. And editor-in-chief Dave Herndon joins us with that and so much more. Hello, Dave.
Hi, Nikki.
Always good to have you. And I spent the weekend reading the magazine. I have to say, 'tis the season to connect with New Mexico's rich agrarian roots. Thank you for that.
Okay.
So tell us
No
more.
problem.
Let's start about talking with the trips to Bountiful. I thought it was
All
a
right.
really interesting article.
All right, that is a set of road trips that take you from sort of Santa Fe north to what we call the family farm heart of north central New Mexico.
Yes.
So I don't know about you, but when I drive around up there, O'Keefe Country or the High Road or straight up to Taos, kind of blow by things and you see signs and you go,
Where
stop,
should I
don't
go?
stop.
Yeah.
We tell you where to stop.
You really do.
And shop and get, connected to this, the whole trend that's been going on for the last few years about local, sustainable, small scale agriculture. That's not a trend in New Mexico. That is
the
New
way
Mexico.
it is, exactly.
So that is an asset that we have here that,
nobody else really
and
does.
would come a harvest season, our food expert who's known to your viewers, Cheryl,
Yes.
breaks it down where to stop and make a real excursion out of it if you want to, where to have a meal, where to stay at a B&B, specialty items you want to get.
Yeah, I mean, and you literally map it out. I mean, really, like from point to point. And I want to just mention this point that really got my attention, especially on a day like this with Village Inn in the kitchen, talking about pies. Pie Town, it's just west of Socorro. I really want to talk about this because it truly lives up to its name. So let's talk more about it and the Great Pie Town Showdown.
Okay. Pie Town, first of all, it sounds like a real cartoon, right? But it's a real place.
It's a real place.
It was founded out of these hard scrabble Depression era Dust Bowl economics when Okies came and were pioneers out there. Now there's a cafe called The Pioneer. I'm so glad these people are here today with their pies because I have a theory that
Which is?
pie is the new cupcake.
Ah, okay. I like that. Hey, listen, one of the things that really caught my eye in that article was that they were saying one of the best tips for making the pie crust was to use frozen vodka. The vodka is,
you're like, I have that.
Well, you keep your vodka in the freezer generally anyway, but instead of water, they were saying it makes a better crust.
Right, there are a lot of great tips in there. There's a great story about the Pie Town Festival. They have a pie baking contest, of course.
Showdown,
And Candace Walsh, our managing editor, went to it last year and does this great sort of fly on the wall report about that. And but we also have again, keeping with the road trip theme, from Socorro west. It's not just west of Socorro. It's about 100 miles west.
Right.
And there are ghost towns and the VLA and Old West small towns. There's a lot of flavor out that route.
Oh yeah, literally and figuratively.
Exactly, to get to the get to Pie Town.
Absolutely.
And who doesn't want to go to Pie Town?
You gotta stop. If you get an opportunity, you really do have to. And I also want to mention from the magazine this month that this month's mover and shaker is architect Barbara Felix, who is actually leading the massive restoration project of the famous Fonda Hotel in Santa Fe. So I want our viewers to understand a little bit about her and how the restoration is going right now.
Well, the La Fonda renovation has been ongoing for about the last 3 years.
Right.
They started with the restaurant. They did a fantastic job. La Plazuela is such an atmospheric place, and if you don't want to stay over at the La Fonda, you can always go for a meal or drinks at the Bell Tower up top, which is the best place in town for a view for margaritas at sunset.
Oh yeah.
And you can take in a lot of the public spaces along the way, so you get a lot of the flavor of what this article is about. Is that this architect, Barbara Felix, sort of channeled Mary Coulter, who was the Harvey House architect in the early part of the last century, and extended her legacy by having these artisans make all the furnishings and fixtures by hand in the old-fashioned, very sort of 19th century way. Forget the 20th century.
Right.
And so blacksmiths, glass blowers, tinsmiths, all of this stuff is made by hand in the 21st century. It's just a fantastic stewardship of that legacy. I mean, that's not just a hotel to me. It's
exactly.
It's like
almost like a museum.
It's like a museum. It's like a cultural institution. But But
and I think visitors are going to have such a deeper, once they read this article, you'll have such a deeper appreciation for every single thing that you see and do. I mean, even from every time you sit down in a chair, you'll have a deeper appreciation for that decor.
Exactly. The art and the artifacts there are, you know, museum quality, like you said. So
absolutely. Well, you can learn a lot more about that and more by reading your copy of New Mexico Magazine. So how can our viewers subscribe?
They can pick up a copy of this issue at the local newsstand. We're all over the place, and people still ask me, where can I get it? I was like, you know, every place.
Everywhere.
Okay, so so open your eyes. You know, I hope it's, you know, you'll find it on your newsstand. If you don't, go to nmmagazine.com.
Okay.
And you can subscribe that way. In time for the next issue, I hope you get it if you subscribe now, because we're going to have the next chapter of this agritourism feature. It's going to be really about the Albuquerque and Santa Fe area.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to cover a little deeper dive, like down in this, you know, area for the next issue.
Perfect.
So,
and of course, you can always get those great recipes from Cheryl in every issue as well.
Right, and online, nmmagazine.com.
Perfect, Dave. Thank you so much. Thanks for, it's always a great history lesson and a great lesson in everything that you can enjoy and appreciate about this wonderful state. Thank you.
Thank
as
you.
always.